Greetings, everybody. Welcome. My name is Mike Huggins from the Transformation Yoga Project. Excuse me. Sorry. There we go. Mike Huggins from the Transformation Yoga Project, and thank you so much for joining us today. So the question to start with is, what day is it today? Are we mindful enough to remind ourselves what day it is? I know that sounds like a crazy question, but in these times right now, I think it's worthwhile to do just a simple check-in of what day is it. And then we can go beyond that to do a check-in of just how we're feeling today. And that check-in could be anything you'd like: physical, emotional, and even spiritual, if that's working for you. So today's practice, we're going to do a 30-minute chair yoga practice. The beauty of this practice is that every single one of these postures can be done standing. And I may cue a few of them standing, but by and large, we'll be seated today. But if you're feeling like you want to get up and move some, by all means, please do. So either way, standing or seated. So as people are getting settled into the chair, maybe starting to ground yourself into your chair and rooting your feet into the mat or your floor, start to connect with the breathing. And I like to open up the practice today with a short passage from our Yoga for Recovery book. Many of you have seen this book, and I just wanted to read a short passage as we start to get started and to understand why this yoga practice can be such a powerful tool as we navigate the challenges in our lives, which we know right now there's quite a few. I want to take a minute. How yoga helps. The yoga practice of meditation, mindfulness, and physical postures have been proven to help us reconnect with our physical selves. By helping us notice and connect with our physical bodies, yoga can help us reconnect with our physical selves and reorient us to the felt sensations of the body. This reconnection can awaken the livelihood that resides within all of us and allow us to receive the messages the physical body communicates to us. By learning to trust the body's sensations again, we can have confidence in our ability to make healthy choices for ourselves, physically, emotionally, and socially. A yoga practice also teaches us that sensations don't last forever, that emotional and physical feelings have peaks and valleys, and the body does not have to go into survival mode to combat discomfort. Yoga teaches us how to trust the knowledge and the truth that resides within us, helping us to understand that we don't need knowledge or truth about ourselves to be defined or confirmed by an outside source. We only need to uncover that which is already there. So perhaps we can take a cue from those words about today's practice of connecting with the body sensations, understanding that everything that we need already resides within. Let's start from a comfortable seated position, feet grounded into the floor or your mat, sitting up tall as best you can. And I know that may be difficult depending what kind of chair you're sitting in. But to the extent we can, we're going to lengthen that spine, maybe dropping or softening those shoulder blades, and start to connect with our breathing. You can start by maybe with a sigh, a full breath in, let it all out, and I love that to start. And just do a few more on your own, because it's a nice way for me to release anything else that I'm holding at the moment. It's a little bit of a calling for me to be present. And we can start to come into a rhythmic breathing without any kind of force, natural breathing, but allowing the air to move the body in subtle ways, and we're aware of those subtle movements and any sensations that arise from those movements. perhaps you find it helpful to set an intention for your practice. Could be your mantra, could be a simple positive affirmation, or just something to get you through the day. Notice the breath starting to come to a natural rhythm. Noticing the body following the breath. And we stay with this as we start to add some movement to our breath. But we always come back to the breath. And I like to say we lead with the breath, not leading with the body. We can start to bring our shoulder blades up and down. Up really high. And then releasing down. Do another one here. And we can roll our shoulder blades backwards. I don't even know if you can hear the crackling and pop of my shoulders, but I certainly can hear them. And perhaps go the opposite way. All the while staying focused on my breathing. And we can take our chin down slightly and up, gazing forward. A few more here. Noticing that your breath leads the way. So as we start to tuck our chin, we start with the breath. And coming back to center, you do a few neck rolls, tucking your chin and just rolling side to side. Noticing if there's any strain in your cervical spine. Making a distinction between a stretch and pain. And one more. If you want to go all the way around one side, you can do that once or twice, and then we'll go the opposite way. Coming back to center and go the opposite way. And coming back to center. Take a moment to softening our shoulder blades, sitting up tall to your degree. Tucking our chin as we bring our shoulder blades forward to a few seated cat-cows. Inhale, lifting the chest without arching that spine too much. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale, maybe the shoulder blades start to squeeze together. Exhale, tucking the chin, rounding forward. Inhale, last time, opening up your heart. Exhale, rounding your spine. Coming back to center. Noticing just that subtle movements here starts to challenge the breathing in a really positive way. Inhale, arms reach up high over your head. I like to keep them the goalpost arms. We're all going to be different here. Some of you may be able to go up higher. I prefer to keep mine here. Inhale, I am lengthening my arms here, keeping my shoulders soft, creating length in my spine, staying with the breath, another breath in and out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, my right arm is going to come over to my left knee. Inhale, lifting as I move to a twist. You can decide if you want to, how deep you want to twist, or perhaps even taking your gaze towards your back shoulder, your twisted shoulder, but it's a subtle adjustment you can make, leading with your breath. One more breath here. Inhale, arms come back up. Breathing in and out. Inhaling, lengthening that spine. Exhale, the opposite arm, left arm to that right knee. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, twisting to your degree. Perhaps noticing any constraint of your breathing that's going to be natural here. Sipping in breath through your nose if possible. One more breath in and out. Inhale, arms reach up high over your head. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. You do a check-in again. As we talked about at the beginning of the practice, checking in could be physical, emotional, spiritual. We'll add some more movement here with that focused breathing. Arms by the side. Inhale, reaching up high. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, swan diving forward as you start to come forward. Tucking your chin and releasing your hands down towards the floor. Maybe they can touch, maybe they don't. Tucking your chin. Maybe you need to move your feet a couple inches apart so you have space for your neck and head to kind of hang here. Noticing if your eyes are open. Of course, there's no right or wrong. It's the simple act of being aware of what we're doing. Each breath in, we feel the spine lengthen and the back opening up. Each exhale, we try to find a little sense of release here. Next breath in, hands come on our shins. Inhaling, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Exhale, breath in, lengthening that spine. Exhale, releasing the hands back down, tucking the chin. And breathing in, slowly rising all the way up, arms reaching all the way up high. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands back onto your knees. Full breath in. Exhaling, softening those shoulders. We'll do a few more of these sun salutations. You're certainly welcome to stand to do this. We'll move within cadence here. On your own though, but I'm just setting the lead. You do what you need to do. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, hands onto the shin, squeezing your shoulder blade together. Exhale. Inhale, lengthening that spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, tucking the chin, rounding up, reaching up high. Breathing in, opening. Exhale. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, another swan dive down. If I'm going too fast, go at your own pace here. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, hands onto your shins as you tighten those shoulder blades together. Inhaling, a little bit of lengthening here. Exhaling, forward fold. Tucking that chin. Inhaling, reach up high over your head. Breath out. Inhaling. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Release our hands onto our knees. Eyes open or closed. Maybe think about lifting up your toes, spreading them and returning them down to the floor. Nice way to just reconnect. Few connecting breaths here. Can almost feel the blood circulating. So from here, we're going to move to a modified warrior series. Another possibility for you to stand for all these next few poses. So for the warrior series, perhaps come towards the edge of your chair. I recognize if you have like arms on your rest, it's going to be a little more difficult. So maybe come to the edge of your chair. We'll work through this. Inhaling, reaching up high over your head. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, open up to Warrior Two on the right side. So my right knee is going to come out. I'm going to take my left knee and kind of bend it. And I'm kind of, my left hip is sort of coming down. My arms reaching long. Take your gaze anywhere. Classically, you would gaze towards your front fingers, but that's just a minor thing here. But we're going to try to look for extension on both sides. I'm really reaching here, feeling the energy, maybe feeling a little tension in my shoulders, maybe drop them an inch, and then connecting with that breathing. One more breath in. Exhale, release your arms down. I'm going to keep my legs right where they are. Dropping my shoulders, allowing the body to rest or just release for a moment. One more breath in and out. And as I inhale, I'm coming right back to that Warrior Two. Same side. From here, I'm going to move to a crescent lunge. So all simply that back heel, foot, I'm going to turn and turn my hips forward. So it's almost as if I could actually go to a lunge right here off the chair, and you're welcome to do that. But you're also welcome to stay rested on the chair as long as that hip is, you've got some room here. And depending how your chair is, we can take the opposite arm from your bent knee and take that forward as we move to a twist. And I like to say we twist until we find a natural resistance. The body says, hey, I'm kind of there. And then we can reconnect with our breathing. With each exhale, if we're able to release a bit and notice how the body responds to that. Inhale, let's come all the way back up. Exhale, I'm going to stay right here. Hands come to heart center. And if you like, you can follow along. Opposite elbow is going to come to that bent knee for a prayer twist. You can do this on the chair, or you can do it in a classic prayer twist off the chair. Perhaps pressing through your palms as it provides some leverage to open up your chest area. Mindful of the sensations you're feeling in that back leg. Maybe it's starting to warm up a bit. One more breath here. We'll slowly start to unwind. Inhaling, arms up high over our head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Releasing, I'm going to come back. So I'm staying on the same side here, and I'm going to come right back one more time to Warrior Two. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale to Warrior Two. So adjust as you need to. This is a little too intense right now. Just back off. You can just come back to come back to almost like a seated chair, child's pose. So Sen, you can do this standing or seated. Breathing in and breathing out. Now my front arm to my bent knee, I'm simply going to take it forward. I hope you can see me here. I'll move the chair and I'm going to come down to the best I can. So my front arm is inside that bent knee, reaching up high. And perhaps try something which I love to do, and that's to take my top arm on my hip. Inhaling as I lengthen my spine, and exhaling, I'm able to just open up my chest area, open up that heart area a little bit. You can stay here, or you can always bring your arm back up. Breathing through any body sensations, let that lead the way, making a decision to stay, breathing through discomfort, or whether you're better served by moving out of the discomfort. One more breath in. Exhale back to Warrior Two. Breath in. I'm going to come right back to center. Come back. breathing in, and I'm breathing out. So we'll start to move to the opposite side. In this case, I'm going to move to my left side. Inhaling, arms reach up high, come toward the edge of the chair. Exhale, opening up to Warrior Two. Just as you need to. One more breath here. And exhale, release your arms down. Relaxing those shoulders. And on my next breath in, I'm going to come right back at it and we'll move on from here. Welcome to stay. If you want to move to that modified crescent lunge, I'm just going to spin that heel, that hip's going to come forward and start to reach arms over the head. Perfectly fine to stay here. Some people find it helpful to push through that back heel. Some people even maybe want to stand here. And if you're into it right now, we can take that opposite arm forward. Back arm starts to come to that twist. Staying focused on the practice, maybe recalling your mantra. Inhale, let's come all the way back up. Stay here, or we can move to that modified prayer twist, breathing in. Exhale, hands to heart center, opposite elbow towards that bent knee. I love these spinal twists. Sort of like an old friend. I think personally for every time I practice, I have several types of spinal twists. It's just something, for me, it's like home base, if you will. One more breath in. Exhale, come all the way back up. And exhale right back to Warrior Two. Just as you need to. So these are subtle adjustments and they make a difference. I'll move my chair a little bit. So inhale, I'm reaching forward, reaching, and that front arm starts to come back inside, or I should say outside that knee, I guess. It's inside that knee, excuse me. Reaching up high. Once again, I choose to take my top arm under my hip. Inhale as I start to lift, open up, literally opening up my heart. And then returning that arm up. One more breath in, using our core to pull ourselves back to Warrior Two. Full breath in, letting it all go. I'm coming right back to center, physically and centering myself mentally back into that breathing. Checking in with any sensations. Physical, emotional, spiritual. Inhaling, arms reach up high. I'm going to move right to eagle pose, a chair eagle pose. So in this case, my right arm is going to come underneath my left. You can come to classic eagle. If that's not available, I'm not even going to do that today. I'm just going to give myself a nice hug. My right knee crosses over my left. Maybe not possible with your chair or just any kind of issues you're having with your hips. Bring it down here just a bit. You can stay here. Some of you may want to think about a twist. Simply taking the opposite elbow towards that bent knee. Certainly this can be done, classic eagle standing pose. Let's come back to center. Keep your legs where they are if you're able to. Bring your hands down. Legs going to come forward as you press through your heels. Notice you're going to want to lean back, but we're going to fight that urge. We're going to try to keep it all in the core area here in our hip. Breathing in, and then exhale, bring that foot down. Inhaling, lengthening the spine. Exhale, start to come forward into airplane. You're welcome to keep both feet on the floor. If you like, you can lift up one leg, maybe hover it a couple inches. That's totally optional. You can do this pose standing, of course. And slowly coming all the way back up. Arms reach up high over our head. Exhale. Inhale. Reaching that spine, lifting. Exhale. And now my left arm is going to reach under my right arm. Left leg up and over, or just hug yourself. Inhale, lengthening. Stay, or you can twist here also. One breath here. Slowly we'll start to come up. Arms reach up high over your head. Exhale, hands come down. Legs starts to lift here. We're all going to be quite different here. Lifting without arching that spine. One more breath in. Exhaling, release that foot down. Arms come by your side. Squeezing those shoulder blades together as you move into airplane. Deciding if you want to lift up your other leg, hover it an inch or two. One more breath in and out. Inhale, let's come all the way back to center. Bring our hands to heart center. Full breath in. Full breath out. I'm going to return my hands to my hips, to my knees, excuse me. I'm going to come once again to the edge of the chair. I'm going to root one leg into the floor, and I'm going to lift the other one, maybe pointing the toes. Hold that for a few breaths, noticing the sensations in the hip socket. Breathing in and exhale, releasing. Moving to the opposite leg. And releasing. So we'll go to the opposite leg and just lift and return, switch it out, lift and return, lift, return. Noticing the idea of this movement, it almost sorts to lubricate the joint, and as we start to add movement, we can go a little bit higher without additional strain. Just a couple more on each side. And coming back to center. I'm going to come back just a little bit further onto my chair. Still not trying to rest too far back, but just enough where I feel a little bit of support there. And we move to a seated figure four, or some people call it a seated pigeon. In this case, my right ankle is going to cross over my left. Any variation here, recognizing that this might not be available for us today, and maybe we take it down or just even cross. come into that controlled breathing. I'll come back up here. Many variations of this pose, so find the one that's working for you at this very moment. Options might include taking one hand and kind of gripping your outer arch, maybe just a slight lift upward as it starts to open up that hip socket, the opposite hip socket. Maybe the hand comes on the knee. Perhaps you feel like you want to deepen into the pose, but we do that from a place of compassion, not from a place of brute force, because you feel like, I've been doing this, now I need to go deeper. We're trying to fight that urge. It's a couple more breaths here. Let's come back to center. I'm going to keep this leg lifted. A nice squeeze in. You can move your ankle if you'd like here. Straightening that leg to your degree. And I'm going to reach down and grab my calf muscle here. You can decide if that's enough, that's too much. Maybe lift a little higher. As I do that, I feel the weight of that leg on my arms. One more breath here. Exhale, release. Breath in, lengthening that spine. Exhale, let it all go. Move to the opposite side, adjust as you need to. Left ankle over that right knee. Any variation. So a couple more breaths here. Just slowly start to come out. If you like, you can extend that leg. Use your hands to lift up. Another opportunity to explore any body sensations here and how the mind's reacting to those sensations. Can we react from a sense of self-comfort, lack of judgment, acceptance? One more breath in. Exhale, release all the way down. One last pose before we start to move into the most important part of the practice, and that's our rest. Inhaling, arms reach up high. Exhale, left hand onto the right knee, pushing through that spine for one final spinal twist. My old friend. Inhaling, when you're ready, come all the way back up. Exhaling. Inhaling, a little lift of that spine. Exhaling, twist the opposite way. Inhaling, come all the way back up, arms reach up high over your head. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Breath in. Exhale, hands down by your side. So now let's do that transition from the asana, the physical movement, to the shavasana, the rest. You can lean back into your chair as long as you're still trying to sit up tall. find a comfortable position for your feet. Eyes can be closed or not. You can keep a slight gaze, maybe 6 feet in front and down a bit. Hands can come together. Some people like to do mudras, fingers together. I personally like to have my just fingers touch. I feel a connection there. Eyes are closed for me. We'll take the next few moments or a minute or so to check in with any body sensations. Perhaps noticing the heart beating. Subtle movements of the body with each and every breath. Perhaps doing a short body scan, as if you were someone looking at you while you're seated in rest. Noticing areas where you can release and rest. Perhaps noticing how the body wants to come back to its natural state. We move the body so we have an opportunity to quiet the mind. Not shut off the mind, but at least try to quiet for a bit. If your mind is bouncing around a bit, sometimes it's helpful just to remind yourself that I'm breathing in and I'm breathing out. I'm breathing in and breathing out. Stay here for a few more moments. I'll ring the chime one time, just as an indication that we're starting to move towards bringing ourselves back. So you're welcome to slowly start to bring yourself back, but you're also welcome to obviously stay where you are. If you start to bring yourself back, a deepening of the breath with Slight movements of the fingers and toes is a nice way to kind of reconnect with the room you're in and with the day. If you'd like to join me with your hands coming to heart center, eyes can stay closed. Thanking ourselves for joining, for taking the time to start or continue a practice. Sense of gratitude for showing up. And a sense of gratitude for the connection that we all share, even from afar. And you're welcome to bring your thumb knuckles up to your forehead, third eye center. Eyes can stay open or closed as we honor the light, the goodness, the energy, and the warmth in each and every one of us, bowing before each other, saying Namaste. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much for sharing your practice. I wish you a peaceful day. Thanks again.